Alright everyone, so I just want to go over a Fish Flingers guide with you. I'm going to roll this on the screen first. This is just some of the scoring formulas, the perfect tackles, the tokens, etc, etc. I would suggest pausing your screen if you would like to see this. First tip I'd like to say is you want to go to the fisherman, get a tip from the fisherman. He'll tell you where the biggest fish is. He says it's going to be the salmon on the beach, so I'm going to run over here to the docks. I wrote down the salmon on the beach because that's going to be the number one catch that I'm going to want to do. If you are using Alt 1, you're going to want to have it ready to go. Click on Fish Flingers. Then, once this pops up here, you're going to want to go to your ratings. Click on your ratings so it opens up your discovered ratings and go read locations from screen. Once you have that selected, it should update with the ones that are selected on your ratings here. After you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and select the white boxes that it suggests for you. If you're not using Alt 1, I would suggest going and watching the baiting and tackle guide if you have not already. Once it starts updating these ratings, you're going to go ahead and keep switching through the Alt 1 suggestions or through the percentage suggestions that I had mentioned before, or how to roughly tackle that situation. One of the things I do want to mention real quick on this is that whenever you are selecting the weights, you have to deselect them as well. If you do not deselect the weights, you will have a problem. You will keep throwing out numbers that you don't realize, etc, etc. The next thing that I do want to brush up on is the medals. The reason why we're doing this is because you want to have all of these 100%. Not only getting them 100% will allow you to catch fish faster, it'll also allow those fish to be larger weights. Once you get 100% on one fish, you then have to make your way around to the other 6 fishing spots and catch the other 6 fish at the same 100% rate. There are 2 fish at most locations. So on my list here I have 1 at the docks, I have 2 at the lake, 2 at the river, and 1 at the beach. This is the lake here, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get 2 of them at 100% rating. The reason why we want all 6 fish at 100% rating, and we're going to do this first, the very first thing is going through and getting all 6 medals, or all 6 of the tackles, because you want to get the medals. When you get your first 3 tackles, you'll get 1 medal. When you get all 6 tackles, you'll get a secondary medal. Not only does getting medals give you more tokens, but also doing this gives you a combined extra 8 points in the game. You want as many points as you can get. This is the easiest way to get easy 8 points. So, now that we've gone over getting 100% 6 times, and I didn't deselect that, so see, I messed myself up. I could have already had the next solution. Now that we've gone over that, I basically want to go over this thing called a big fish. The big fish is something that is very rare in my case. I don't know if you have to be in a world with other people, if you guys have to both be fishing the same spot, or what. I've only been able to assist with 1 big fish. Essentially, whenever a big fish appears, you will receive a text box, or a text chat down here in the text box. It will say you have hooked onto a big fish. If you cast again afterwards, you will release the fish. You cannot cast again. You have to hold on to the fish. There are some bubbles in the water. I believe you have to click on the bubbles in the water. Whenever I assisted someone, I had to click at 25%, at 50%, 75, and then 100. We caught it. I'm assuming it's very similar for catching it and not assisting it. Whenever you catch it, I'm assuming you have to click on the bubbles 4 times, 1 at 25, 1 at 50, 1 at 75, and 1 when it's caught. I'm not positive. Other than that, I do want to say that there is a faster way to catch fish. Every time you go to do the cast emote, it will take time. Every single one is like 6 seconds or so. If you watch this bar up here, and it changes, as soon as it changes, to tell you what the next percentage is, you're going to want to click cast again. I'll do an example here in a moment. I cast. Up here it changes from cod, or from Bass Lake to Cod River 22. The main thing I'm going to look for is the weight. Now it's at 52 and press cast again. I skip half the animation. It's basically 2 ticking. Click again, cast again. The reason why I'm not going to continue doing this is because I'm not catching the 100% rating, so I'm going to go ahead and switch that, and once I get to 100% rating on my last 6th tackle, I will then start doing my casting. So just a brief touch up. You want to get all the metals first, all 6 tackles for those 2 metals. Once you get all 6 tackles, then you're going to go back to the biggest spot. Earlier in the video, we got a hint from the fisherman. The fisherman told me that the best place for me to catch the biggest fish is going to be at the beach, and it's going to be salmon. So once I'm done with all this, I'm going to go to the beach and catch salmon if I'm not already on the beach. However, I will already be on the beach, so it's one extra easy thing to do, or one extra bird, 2 birds, 1 stone. That's what I want to say. Now that we're at the beach, I'm going to go ahead and cast this, and I'm going to hope that I get a big fish, so then I can show you guys. Wow, 100% first cast. Now I'm at 100%. I know what all my baits are. I don't have to click on anything. I can use my alt one as a reference when I go back to the other spots, because I still have 4 minutes left. If I do catch all the fish in this beach within those next 4 minutes, I'm going to run back to the next closest fishing spot. Doesn't matter which one, just trying to catch more fish, more weight. Once I get to that closest spot, I'm going to look over at my chart. It's going to be the river because that's the closest one. I got a cod or a trout. I'm most likely going to go with the cod. It uses a large hook. I'm assuming it does more weight. I'm not positive, but I'm going to pick one of those 2 because it's not like it's a herring or a bass. With the herring and bass, I'd obviously not choose the herring. Those are not in the same location, but for future reference, if you do have something like that, I just picked the bigger fish because I'm assuming it's going to give me more weight, which is hopefully more points. So I went over the best of my ability what I can do with most of this stuff to get you the most points. Start with the metals, get the biggest fish, then work your way back through with whatever time you have remaining. Make sure that you do this 2-tick sort of cast because you're going to want to catch more fish. The more fish you can get, the more points you can get, the faster you get your fishing outfit. The most points that I've gotten in one game is going to be 31 points. My average points before I started getting the metals was only 21 to 22 points. 8 extra points adds up, especially when each outfit piece costs 140 points each, not including the tackle box if you're trying to do a completioner's thing and you need the tackle box in your tool belt, which is something that I am going for. I have the complete outfit, however, I'm still going for, I believe, the 4 or 5 different tackle boxes that it has. I'm going to end the video at this point because I believe I've gone over everything the best that I can, or at least to my knowledge for this point in time. If you guys have any questions, please message me on Discord. And other than that, have a great night, and I hope your fishing goes well.